and this is not easy. Today, I want to offer hope and encouragement. Good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch, and it's Sunday morning. My normal routine, come out here, beautiful morning, get some fresh air, get some sun in my face, ground myself to the earth, and do one of two things. One of those things is reflect. Reflect on the state of things, reflect on the trials and tribulations of so many of you who communicate with me in either the comments on my videos or by email. So many times it's enlightening. It makes me feel good. You tell me about your successes. You tell me how I've helped. That validation of the work that I do is important. But those aren't the only feelings that these different communications elicit in me, depending on the type and the content of what you're sharing with me. And so often, more often than I'd like to see, you share with me your trials and tribulations, your problems, your failure to be able to become one of those other type of communications that I get, your success stories. And my friends, it not only frustrates me sometimes because I'm helpless to reach out and actually fix it for you. But I actually feel and can identify. And I know it's easy to say, I feel your pain, but I can't ignore it. I want to help everybody. There's no magic answer, unfortunately. There's no magic piece of advice. I keep recording videos, one after another. Sometimes just shouting out there, declaring my own autonomy, defending my right to not be abused, to rant about things that I would love to control, but I can't. But that's not what I'm talking about today. And there's a time and place for everything. Today, and this is not easy. Today, I want to offer hope and encouragement to those of you who write me and tell me that basically you're at the end of life's rope, you have gotten yourself into such a pickle. You desperately want to succeed and fix things. But you're so far down that rabbit hole caused by what we know to be the different addictions. And you're trapped. You're trapped. And I get more emails from you every day. Emails that frustrate me because somehow I feel a responsibility to see if there's something I can do or say to help you out of what you consider a hopeless situation with no way out. So much of it is a matter of attitude. All my life, I've been a student of positive attitude. But just tell somebody, well, you got to be positive, is bullshit advice. Easier said than done. It's easy to say anything. I can say, eat meat. Well, it sounds easy. But then I get email after email telling people, I can't just eat meat. It makes me sick. I can't stop drinking. I can't stop binging on the things I'm addicted to. I wish I could be like you. I wish I could have the success that you have, but I can't. I got one this morning. Almost brought tears to my eyes. A cry, an absolute cry for help. I won't mention any names. I never do. But the content of this email basically went, I can't stop drinking. I weigh 400 pounds. Nothing I do works. I can't eat the meat. My life is pretty much over. I wish I could have succeeded like you. And those emails like that just break my heart, and I get way too many of them. Which is why I'm always so adamant about the fact that even though you might know what to do, the failure rate among people who start this, the dashed hopes, are way, way, way too high. And even though I've determined that the most likely cause of this, the root cause of all of it, is that addiction to many substances, not just carbohydrates, but also other addictive substances and addictive behaviors, make us slaves to those addictions. And yet when it comes to carbohydrate addictions, we can't even as a society acknowledge that it's even a big problem. How could we acknowledge that when all the money tells us it's not really a problem, it's your imagination? How could you be addicted to food that makes you feel so good? So I decided this morning, I'm going to come outside here. I'm going to stick my feet in the ground. I'm going to stick my head in the sun. And I'm going to give you all a pep talk. It's not easy. Not easy to come up with a pep talk. Not easy to motivate you. Where do I start? Where do I start? Do I do like they do in a church revival meeting? Do I get myself an organist, a choir full of people behind me? Do I strut back and forth, up and down the stage, screaming and praising Jesus and getting you all motivated. You leave that feeling your problems are all solved now, and then 5 minutes later reality hits you in the face and you recognize the fact that what happened to you wasn't really useful advice, it was group hysteria. That doesn't work. I can't do that. I'm not going to give you a rah-rah speech. But I am going to direct this message at most of you who are here because you desperately want to fix some or all of those things that are just trashing the quality of your life. And you keep looking for answers. And unfortunately, that's the hard part. You have to find those answers within yourselves. You have to accept certain facts, and that is, it took you decades to get in the pickle that you're in. That's true of all of us. And you've got to dig down somewhere. Nobody can do it for you. And you've got to make a commitment and find some strength to latch onto. To basically say, the answers are out there. There's proof that these answers work. I acknowledge that it's not going to be easy. That anybody selling me a quick and easy solution to my life's situations is a carnivore barker, snake oil salesman who really just gives a shit about nothing but themselves. You have to have talks with yourself. You need to accept the fact that doing nothing will change nothing. Latch on to the fact that you may not fix everything. You may not lose 200 pounds in a year or two. But make a pact with yourself to go for some small victories, a little at a time. Take your motivation from some of the YouTubers out there who were in worse shape than you. Many of them come to mind. And they're clawing away at this lifestyle little by little, reveling in the small improvements. Accept the fact that this is going to disrupt your system, and for a period of time, you may not feel really well. You may think that you can't eat meat because it upsets your stomach or your digestive tract. Make a commitment to yourself for that 30 or 60 days to tough through it. Nobody can do it for you. There is no magic pill that won't end up doing you more harm than good. But there is no shortage of people willing to sell you that magic pill. You cannot buy your way out of this mess. The plan, the program, as I put it out there, is different than most people. It's different than most people. Most people are always trying to tell you the easy way in. Transition, go keto, do this, do that. You can't just quit. You can't just do cold turkey. Nobody ever succeeds doing it that way. No alcoholic ever cured his alcoholism, cutting back to 2 drinks a day. You've got to accept the fact that, yes, you've tried that so many times already and it hasn't worked. You got to become a realist. And you got to pay the price. You got to toughen up. If I told you any different, then I'd be doing you a disservice. I'd be leading you down some rosy path of impossibility. I'm telling you, that's what I had to do, and that's all I can do, is be the example. And it worked. And it worked. I wasn't in that bad a shape to start with. Fortunately, I've had this talk with myself over my entire life, and anytime it got a little too far, I put a stop to it. I was also fortunate enough to never have been addicted to anything pretty much but sugar. I didn't have to cure all the other addictions. And maybe there's a little nicotine addiction in there, and I still smoke my cigars, and it's a concession that I make to help me get through this. But if that particular addiction happened to have been alcohol, I couldn't do it, because the damage that alcohol does and the damage that puffing on a cigar does are in different ballparks. So each of us has to individualize it for ourselves. I have many videos about what to do for the first 30 days. I have only a few basic rules that you need to follow. If you haven't tried them, and you're in a pickle, and you're writing me, telling me, woe is me, I'm done, I'm dying, I'm gone, I can't do it, and you don't take those things that I discovered that actually allowed me to do it, if you don't take them seriously and give it a shot, because how much more damage can you do to yourself in 30 days? You can't. Especially you can't by just eating nutritious food. Watch those videos. The 10 rules that you need to know, the 10 things you need to do, the 2 most important factors. Just Google old guy carnivore first 30 days. You'll find those videos. I'm going to summarize that for you right now. What you have to do, if you're writing me emails like you're writing me, like the one I read this morning, what you have to do, what you have to convince yourself you must do. And if you can't do that, there's nothing I can say. There's no advice I can give. All you do by writing me emails like that is make me feel bad. There's enough things that are making me feel bad out there. I'm making this video for all of you that have written me and continue to write me these woe is me emails, thanking me for what I'm doing, but basically telling me you're too far gone and it can't help you. And my suggestion to you is very, very simple. And it's tough love. Sometimes that's called for. Tough love. This is not a rah-rah motivational speech. This is not a you can do it, yeah, rile up, forget it a half hour later type of thing. This is, in my opinion, the only thing that you can do as a beginning. How you deal with it after that is totally up to you. I'm not your doctor. I'm not your therapist. I'm not your psychologist. I'm not your health coach. I'm not any of those things. I don't do one-on-one advice for anybody. I don't charge a penny for my advice. The advice I give you is this. I can't be involved with you on a day-to-day basis. I can't hold your hand through this. I can't become your new best friend. There's no time for that, for me to do that. What I can tell you is for the first 30 days, follow my basic rules. Number one, clean out your house. Get rid of all addictive substances that you don't want to consume. If you have people in your house that refuse to go along with you, tell them to get the hell out, or you move out. Get away from them. Sounds extreme. You want to succeed, or you want to feel sorry for yourself. Number two, learn which foods you can eat. It's not hard. Bacon, eggs, fatty beef. Learn how to figure whether you're eating enough fat or not. There's all kinds of instructions out there for that. Accept the fact that for the first 30 and maybe even 60 days, your job is to forget everything. Forget weight loss. Forget the scale. You have one job, and that is to not get hungry, to eat, to go against everything that you've ever learned about so-called dieting, to stuff your face. Anytime you have a craving, have food prepared and ready. Hamburgers, bacon patties. I don't care if you have to eat 10,000 calories a day. Do not let yourself get hungry. Stay out of situations where you're being tempted by the food that you're addicted to. You have to do this until you reach a point where your physiology is on its way to becoming a fat burner instead of a sugar burner. Your diabetes or other sugar issues have started to resolve some. You're eating no carbohydrates. The main thing and the main reason you do this is to tamp down the addictions. And it's so far for me the only thing I've ever discovered in a lifetime that actually works. Follow those steps that I outline in those videos to the letter and give yourself 30 to 60 days. If you still can't do it, I can't help you. Maybe you are too damaged. So many of us are. So many of us have reached, I hate to say this, a health point of no return. We're getting just too old. We've been too sick. Things are just too damaged. If that's the case, I'm sorry, my friend. If I could help you, I would. If I could wave my magic hand and it would all get better, believe me, I would. Believe me, I would. And I would do it for you for free. I wouldn't charge you admission to the faith healing. We have enough of that already. The most important thing is your own resolve, your own commitment, and more important than anything else, whether you've given up or not already. And if you haven't completely given up, then you've got to reach in there somewhere and find some hope. And follow those people out there who have succeeded. And that's all we can do. That's all we can do. My answer to so many of your emails can only be, I'm so sorry to hear that. I cannot take you on as some kind of a pet project to counsel day by day through this process. I cannot do that. There is no way. That's not what I do. I hope this video maybe helps a little bit. Not the kind of pep talk, not the kind of motivation that you usually hear. More tough love than anything else. If you know how to do it and you just keep failing, just keep trying. But most important, when you fail, figure out why. Try to nail down why you failed so that you can fix it the next time. Simply repeating the same mistake over and over again never gets you anywhere. It's not going to be any easier the next time. If you failed because you binged on carbs, don't expect to not binge on carbs the next time, unless you address the addiction and addiction management aspects of it. They say the definition of insanity is to change nothing and expect a different result the next time. That's what's happening to all of us. In a sea of misinformation, propaganda, corruption, and all the other things that have led us here in the first place. The quick fixes, the magic pills, only to get us deeper and more addicted. And it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. There is no help out there for you. The help for you is all inside. So buckle up, get some resolve, learn what you need to do, make a plan, and do it. And do it. But don't think, if you don't follow it the way that I was after 50-something years of failure, finally followed it, and you're going to have any different results than you had the last time. You're deluding yourself, and you're wasting your time and my time trying to help you. Right about now, I should have a choir behind me, an organist playing. I should be marching up and down on stage, praising this, that, or the other thing, so that you can feel all jacked up when you're finished watching this video. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There is no jacking you up, rah, rah, motivation, crowd hysteria. None of that here. None of that. Only Mitch, some old fart with a lot of balls, telling you, find some for yourself. Grab yourself by your bootstraps and start pulling. If that doesn't help you, honestly don't know what else to do or say. So that's the last thing I'm going to say. Except, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.